Hey guys, just got home from work and wanted to make this post. It's going to be a little bit different from some of the other ones I put on here, but I hope you like it anyway. So I've been, last few months, or actually I guess for about a year now, I've been going to this great new church that I found kind of through coincidence. My friend was on the praise and worship team there, and their piano player had left, and they were in desperate need of a piano player. So he called me to see if I'd play piano there on a fill-in basis. Got to doing it on a regular basis, and started going to church there and really like it. But anyhow, so I have a great relationship with my pastor. I love my pastor, and I talk to him all the time, and just been talking to him about different things. But one thing we always talk about is this idea of a metron. In 2 Corinthians, Paul's talking to the Corinthian church, and he's talking about the field that God has assigned to him, and he says it's a field that reaches even to you. And when you look into the Greek translation of it, the word for that field or that area, that measure that Paul said was assigned to him, is this idea of the metron. So we've been talking about that a lot, and my pastor always says it always begins with yourself and using what you already have, just like the talent, the parable of the talents and everything, where the master left and he gave a certain amount, his servants a certain amount of talents and everything, and some of them came back and multiplied it, and he, and then the one didn't do anything with it. So he says, my pastor always says, God's already given you, desires and dreams and thoughts and ideas. But the idea of this metron is to use what God's already given you, use it towards the Lord. And so for me, that means, this love of music and this talent for music that God's given me, using that for the Lord. My job that I've been blessed with, to use that, for the Lord. And all these different things, these hopes and desires and dreams that I have, to use them for the Lord. And so, I love to cook. I've been thinking about cooking, trying to, get out and cook a meal for a bunch of elderly people or something, just to show God's love on there. So I've been thinking about this YouTube, been wanting to get on YouTube, and so the same thought hit me about YouTube. If it's something that God's already given me, why not use YouTube for the Lord? So I told my pastor I was going to get in on here on YouTube, and going to put a bunch of stuff on there. So I told myself, or I told him when I was talking about wanting to get on YouTube, that I was going to use YouTube for the Lord. And so I'm not going to be ashamed now that I've got my camera and I've got a bunch of stuff up on YouTube. I'm not going to be ashamed and forget about the Lord on this whole deal. So here's what I want to do. I don't know how much time left. How much time I have left. But tonight at work, if you watch some of my other postings, my wife's been in the hospital a bunch and stuff. But tonight at work, she called me on my last break, and they've been doing a lot of tests on her and stuff. She's been having these horrible spasms they can't get rid of. She called me on the last break, and she said that they got results back from a CAT scan, and she's got a mass in her chest, and it's been growing since April. It's 2 centimeters big, so it's not real huge, but she was pretty upset about it, pretty nervous about it. But we've already got on the internet and looked at some things, and and they have this syndrome called stiff man syndrome, where these people have these spasms that they can't explain, and a lot of them wind up having the same type tumor that my wife has. And when they take the spasm out, or when they take the tumor out, the spasms go away. So that's bad news for you, but I believe in that this is the way that God's going to provide for her healing. She just had to go through, enough to where the doctors would latch on to this idea and finally figure out what it is that's causing all these spasms. So she just told me about it tonight. We haven't got a biopsy back on it. We haven't got anything on it. We haven't gone forward with anything at all yet. But I'm believing right now, in front of the whole thing, that this is going to be the way that God provides for my wife's healing. So the way when Paul talks about in Corinthians, let him who boasts boast in the Lord, I want to get on YouTube and do some boasting in the Lord. You heard it right here. This is going to be the way that God provides for my wife's healing. All right? So I'm going to keep y'all updated, and y'all be excited and be praying with me, and we'll watch this thing unfold together. All right? We'll talk to y'all later.